you already know what time it is. It's your boy DJ Richie Skye back with some tea, interviews, recaps, and more. And be sure to check the links in the description of this video for trips, for books, one-on-one sessions, and more. Now let's get into the tea. Y'all, we are back in the building and we got to talk. Listen, y'all, I had actually already filmed this as a pre-recorded video, but then I was like in the process of uploading and I happened to see some news that we're going to dive into. Okay. So get ready, get ready, get ready. Big back Cadillac news is ready to go. We got the tea. We got the tea. Your big back Cadillac boy is back in the building, and we got to talk about the tea. Now, first things first, a little bit of housekeeping. I am about to put you guys' comments on the screen. So please, oh please, don't say nothing crazy. Okay? Because if you do, I will have to eject you nice and quick. Okay? With that being said, make sure you guys, when you step into the room, click that like button. Let's get this algorithm going and let's go ahead and talk about the news. First of all, we know that Basketball Wives did not come on last night, so we really don't have a recap for Basketball Wives. But I don't know. Did you guys happen to catch the BET Awards last night? Did you get a look at all the fashions? Some of your favorite housewives were in the building. We got Candy showing up here. Let's like the post. These are all from Fashion Bomb Daily, right? You know, Sierra's in the building, Mario's in the building. I like the concept of this outfit, but I don't know if he felt comfortable in it. Who else did we have here? Riley and Candy. Yes. The girls were out last night. Come on, Tisha Campbell. You better grab that mic. Grab hold to it. Who watched the BET Awards? Let us know in the chat. Did you like it, love it, want some more of it? I mean, I know a lot of you guys were looking forward to that 106 and Park reunion, but did you enjoy it as much without Roxy there? Let us know in the chat. She was allegedly supposed to be there, but something happened. She made a post about it earlier, like, like, oh my God, I really wanted to be there. We tried everything to make it work out, so I really don't know. Okay. Yes, Ty did have a special date. Ty went with Brandy Maxio. Well, I don't know if they went together or if they just kind of like took a photo together. Let's just leave it there, right? So we got some people that says, I watched, I enjoyed the awards. Yes, BET Awards was so good last night. Yes, it was good. Pleasantly surprised. The best it's been in years. I mean, listen, I'm going to catch the clips. Best awards in a long time. That's a compliment right there, baby. That's a compliment right there. Maya's performance was good. What did y'all think about A. Marie? Did y'all watch A. Marie on Tiny Desk? What did you feel? If you did, let me know what you feel about it. I have been crying over these A. Marie Tiny Desk TikToks that have just been popping up all over the place. First of all, I need to say it. I'm an A. Marie fan. I'm a huge A. Marie fan. I love her music. It was something about that Tiny Desk that was just very chaotic to me on the Tiny Desk. But I did see her One Thing performance on the award show. I saw a clip of it, and it definitely looked phenomenal. There's something about the nostalgia of that song. I don't know. Y'all got to let me know. Please tell me in the chat what you thought about the A. Marie Tiny Desk because I can't put into words what the TikToks are doing. Okay. Um, yeah, I don't know what was going on that tiny desk, but I mean, something was going on. Something was going on. I mean, but you know what I did love? The spirit of the performance is probably what resonated the most. You know, her seeming so happy. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna leave it at that. Let's get into the news, y'all. Let's get into the news. Okay, so I just realized that Simon Guobadia has been released from ICE detention and he has been deported back to Nigeria. Shout out to our friends over at OMFG Reality TV. They got this story from an exclusive from Us Weekly, and I'm going to give you guys the details. So he was released and deported back to his home country after spending months at the detention center. Now, his friend and business partner, Ty Savet, tells us that Simon was sent on a flight back home a few days ago. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security website no longer lists Simon as being in their system. They also got a selfie taken by Simon on Monday, June 9th. Now, the friend said that Simon was in good spirits after a tough experience at the detention center, which was the first time he had ever been behind bars. He also added that Simon is not mad at the current administration and would like a sit down with the current president. Okay. They have launched, Simon and his team have apparently launched a new business where they will be selling shirts that will help people in ICE custody. Okay, so he is turning his lemons into lemonade. Yes. Now, according to this, just to give you guys the rundown, he apparently moved to the United States in 1982, but reportedly overstayed his visa. Just to remind you, okay, he left the country but came back and overstayed his visa a second time, according to a local report from WSP SB They reported that he was deported in 1992, but was granted permanent residency status the same year when he used an undisclosed identity. He attempted to gain citizenship over the years, but was shut down each time. The exes are set to face off at a divorce hearing later this week, which is why, of course, this news is so big right now, with him actually being allowed to appear via video due to his deportation. Let's see here. What else do we have? So the hearing is scheduled for June 11th. Uh-huh. So Simon is, for those of you guys who, or for those of you ladies that may be searching for your African prince, the man is back out and in the streets. Now, you might have to fly yourself to Nigeria to connect with him and his peoples, but it at least sounds like he is free at last. Free at last. Oh Lord, he is free at last. Okay. Now, given the current status of, immigrations and things, um, I don't know that it's likely that we'll see him stateside anytime soon, especially given that court appearances can be done virtually. Um, but the man is out and about and in the streets. So, again, like I say, you ladies out there who might be looking for your Nigerian prince, your Nigerian king, He's on the loop. He's free. Okay. He is free. All right. Jamar, my boy, says looks like divorce proceedings will go as normal as long as he stays on top of the proceedings. You know, thank you for that super chat. And yes, I mean, looks like things will be progressing now, but y'all remember Portia has tried to get out of having to be present because she is planning some international travel for work, allegedly, remember? Which could be traders, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. You know, who knows? I don't have any clue. I don't have any knowledge. But I'm just saying. All right. Maybe he'll return in 2028. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Um I want that mansion. Portia gotta go. Well, she was looking for a new home on the show, so I'm assuming she about to get the step in. So there is that. D Bless, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate you. Y'all comments. I ain't even the comments on the screen now. Okay. The comments are on the screen now. So D Bless says he's gonna be in Dubai next week. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. All right. Deported back to Nigeria, but I don't mean you gotta stay there. That's a man about the world, okay? That is a man about the world. Yes. Wanted you guys to be able to get a closer look at your prize. Oh yeah, I forgot about the special gold card, the golden visa that you can purchase for the low price of $5 million. $5 million, Dwight. $5 million. That's all it'll take. That's all it'll take. Okay. And you can be back as much as you like, according to the administration, allegedly. Okay. Morning, fam. All right. So listen, find my way back. Yes, he back, girl. He back. Well, he out. He out. He out. What's a shame? Lord forbid I be happy up to be talking to my people. Lord forbid I have a smile on my face in spite of the state of the world. Lord forbid I enjoy talking to my people on a day-to-day basis. Lord forbid I be joyful with thanks that I have a community that I can talk to and get these things out. Lord forbid, God forbid, I smile my way through the struggles of the day. God forbid, I show up on camera not looking like what I've been through. Lord forbid I do it. Lord forbid. Lord, forgive me for showing up, putting a smile on my face, and trying to be happy every single day, even when I don't feel like it. Okay. Lord, forgive me. Lord, forgive me. All right. Back to Big Back Cadillac news. All right. Sometimes you just need a moment. Okay. Okay. Jackie, we ain't get no basketball wives, but we do get some basketball wives news. Okay. Some basketball wives news. Jackie Christie is taking legal action, but against who, you might ask? Against whom? That is the question that I have. Now, because I was scouring the interwebs in search of BET Awards, news, I should have just been watching the show, right? But instead, I found myself going down a rabbit hole of Jackie Christie news. Okay. So Jackie Christie posted this to her IG account, right? And it says disclosure on who's accountable for fake news stories. Now, this is the quote that's placed here. She says they can hold accountable anybody who has communicated the defamatory statement to anybody else. That includes the person who originated the defamatory statement, but under something called the republication rule, it also includes anybody who repeated the defamatory statement. Simply retweeting a defamatory statement is probably not going to be enough to qualify for republication, but passing on information that you heard from somebody else certainly is republication. So it says, hey, y'all, authorities are on it. If you see any silly satire, made up, i.e., made up silliness, stories about me and or my family, please report them. The filings soon come. What are y'all out there talking about, Jackie Christie? Side note, I have seen some stories about Jackie Christie. Okay, I have. I haven't really talked about them on the channel because I really had not seen much of a reaction from Jackie or anybody in her family with regards to, you know, any of the news that I've been seeing. So it wasn't anything that I had reported on because, sometimes you see something and you just kind of say, let's wait to see how, let me see how it plays out. And granted, listen, these things, some things that I see that I don't speak about could very well be true. I just don't know. But sometimes something in my spirit just says, just watch, see what happens. And we'll talk about it eventually if it happens to blow up into something bigger. And sometimes because I just don't know. What do you guys think she's talking about here? I personally think that it's probably about the rumors about, whatever is going on with her marriage. Again, I haven't seen her say anything about it. This is probably the closest that I've seen, like any inclination about that. But it could be about something completely different. I really don't know. Um, I don't know if this is related to what happened between her and Sunday. I did see an interview not too long ago. I mean, I actually wanted to interview Sunday last year. When was it last year that she was talking about what was going on between her and Jackie? But I just honestly, with so much going on with me, I just didn't really have time to sit down and really schedule it, or properly ask her to do it, right? But you know, I mean, I don't know. I see y'all saying a lot of things in the chat, but again, it's hard to know because I don't see her react to these things, and I really just see her posting a lot of her and Doug. So I just kind of had just said, okay, well, sometimes there's stories that pop up, and we don't always know how much of it is actually true right now in the present. Um, every marriage has, I'm sure, difficulties, so I really don't know. But what I will say is apparently she's watching. Okay. She's watching. So if you talking about it, Jackie is watching. Jackie and the authorities, baby. Jackie and the authority. They are watching the streets. They are watching for mentions of her name. The authorities are on the loose. And for all of us big back Cadillacs, we are on notice. All right. We are on notice. So let me just let y'all know, us over here in the big back Cadillac, just be on guard because the authorities is watching. Okay. Hop on over here in this big back Cadillac with me. All right. That's all I know. That's all I got for y'all on that. And we're gonna keep it pushing, baby. We're gonna keep it pushing. Jackie and the authorities, I do not want y'all coming after me. Because I sure enough will drive away fast in my big back Cadillac. All right. And y'all will, I will drive faster than you can. I'll be out of here. You'll see skid marks on the road. Okay. Lots of things happening right now. Lots of legalese and lots of legal things. I do want to talk about real quick. There was another story that I did want to talk to you guys about. Let me get to it real quick. Did y'all pay attention to this? Actually, my mood is feeling something different. We're gonna go here instead. I had something else I was gonna talk about, but I want to talk about this first. So Shamea was on the Big Tigger show again. All right. And she essentially was asked, a lot about the show, obviously, because it's on right now. It's popping. Everybody's talking about it, and she talked about her and Portia's friendship. One of the things that I happened to notice was in one of the clips that's floating around, because the clips are actually on Shamea's page as well. But I happened to see this one first. So I wanted to share it from Reality Entertainment TV, since that's where I saw that first. And she talked about Portia and their friendship and whether or not this was something that, she felt like the show was doing. And she says that she feels like the girls are trying to sow seeds of discord in her friendship with Portia. And I think that one of the things that the people in the comments were saying is that every time, Shamea or Portia are asked about their friendship, it seems like Portia shuts it down and doesn't want any discussion about it. But it seems like for a lot of people, Shamea is more open to talking about it, which leads to further discord. And I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about that. Do you think that Shamea talks too much about the details of their friendship with interviewers, with the girls in general? And it's difficult because she is on a reality TV show where she is expected to talk about her life. Her friendship with Portia is a huge aspect of that. So it's kind of like I do appreciate the vulnerability and the transparency with her, but it doesn't always make the situation any better, I think, for the two of them. Um, and she continues to admit that there are still faults in their relationship, which I think we could all absolutely see, right? This friendship to me very much is reminiscent of Lisa Vanderpump and Kyle Richards, where I do feel like there is an apparent power dynamic at play here. I feel like the position of power is by default in Portia's favor because Portia has been on the show for a longer period of time. She is more well known for being on the show, and Shamea has always had the tag of being the friend. So now that the situation has been sort of, upended, so to speak, right, with the two of them on level playing field, it is now feeling like at times like we're watching Shamea struggle with going from being the friend of to now being a main character, and that seems to be causing extra friction. And I think that she reminds me of the Kyle in the LVP and Kyle friendship, right? That's just how it feels to me. Now, when it comes to this particular clip right here, where she's talking about Britt Edie, there was a post, I don't know if you guys happened to see it, from Bondi Blue. Bondi is obviously like one of my favorite creators and just favorite people on the planet. If you ever get a chance to meet her, you will understand why. But she made a post on Instagram and she talked about how Shamea was working harder than James Brown. It's a meme of James Brown, like basically like coming up into the frame and he's all sweaty and he's singing and he's clearly exhausted. And the post was really about how hard Shamea is working to people please, right? And you do sort of get that impression that Shamea is working so hard and sometimes it's almost working against her. And it almost seems like she's fighting the air with this whole Brit situation because regardless of whatever is coming up with Brit and Shamea, we don't know it yet because we haven't seen it yet. The only reason we know it is because Shamea has talked about it several times at this point. And so, because of Brit's relative silence after the $20 million reveal, right now we got a $20 million problem. I got $99. I mean, I got 99 problems, and now Brit is one, right? Um, because of Brit's relative silence, it almost feels as though Shamea is fighting the air with Brit. Um, and it's interesting to me, right? It's very interesting because Brit is saying absolutely nothing about Shamea. I don't think we've heard one thing that she said about Shamea in regards to, and maybe we have. I got to go back and watch her press run weekend, but it just feels imbalanced, right? And of course, we haven't seen it yet because you know if Shamea feels like she said something about her child, obviously, that's going to be reason enough for her to be like, I'm never effing with this girl again. I get that, but one of the things that there's a couple of elements here that Shamea says that just kind of feel like, I wouldn't say that if I just wouldn't say those things if I were you, like, and you don't need to say them because the character type that we had sort of expected from you, you're veering into a space where it feels unnecessary, right? So let me give you an example. She talks about, she doesn't know where Brit came from or how Brit got on the show. And I'm like, well, girl, she was introduced to us by you on the show, right? And we know how that works. We know that essentially there is a situation that occurs on these shows where a new cast member is introduced by like somebody who's more familiar, right? So, is it reasonable to assume that Shamea didn't really know Brit when she introduced her to us to her on the show? Absolutely. We've heard that Portia didn't really know Fallon, you know? So did she really steal her man? I mean, no, absolutely not, right? They were broken up. Okay. But at the end of the day, it was Shamea who introduced us to Brit on the show, right? Because you are the glue, technically. Okay. Now, so that statement kind of rubbed me a little bit the wrong way because I kind of feel like she got on the show the same way you did. Obviously, you were recommended, right? So I'm sure somebody recommended Brit. I'm sure she went through the audition process and they seem to like her for whatever reason. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Regardless of everything that happened between Kenya and Brit, right? The same way you got on the show is the same. I'm sure the same type of y'all both got a yes. Okay. Y'all both got a yes. Now, there are people who think that Brit is a better fit for Love and Hip Hop. I would probably assume that she'd never do that show because of once you start, I think once you sue a network, I think it's going to be a hard play for you to ever do another reality TV show, especially in that city. But I don't really, who knows? Who knows? Brit could end up with a whole Zeus show. Who knows? But that just kind of bothered me. I don't know why, right? The other thing is she says that, they're not cut from the same cloth. They shouldn't even be in the same circle. And at times, I don't know if Shamea realizes that she comes across this way now for whatever reason. But some of her statements, I think, in light of the past episode, they kind of border on elitist a little bit. Um, And I don't think that there's anything wrong with thinking highly of yourself or thinking that you are better than something, right? We all should at some point feel like I'm better than that. But I think it's another thing to start. I don't want to, I can't put words in her mouth and I don't want to do that. And I like Shamea. I think we all at the core love Shamea. I don't think that we always looking at her on the screen, it's been harder to defend some of the things that she said and done because they just don't feel like what the character that we were being set up for. It is feeling more Shamina than it is Shamea. That's the thing I think. That's what it feels like. And if I were to give her any type of viewer guidance, right, just from people like us who watch these shows, and I guarantee you, there are a lot of us who watched from the very beginning. I would say to Shamea to stop fighting the air. Somebody calls you a dog, don't bark, okay? Don't give them more ammunition. Don't even talk about people who are irrelevant to you, right? Especially somebody who is not fighting you back. I mean, save it for the show, right? And then the comment about, speaking about her daughter, if it plays out on the show, then absolutely let us have that moment where we receive it. Because if we go into it with any preconceived notions, people are already wondering, well, did she talk about you as a mother or is she talking about your child specifically? And of course, again, I get it. If somebody's speaking on your child, it shouldn't be done. Absolutely. Children are off limits. But I just kind of feel like, I don't know. And the sort of cut from the same cloth element, she also alleges that she says that Britt is being sued by the event decorator. She says that Britt is being sued by the country club for where she lives. And she says that Britt's tagline is, I'm pretty. She says Britt is pretty. But she says that when Britt says she's paid, she says she's clearly not paid. Um, and again, I do wonder if did Britt fall into the trap of trying to keep up with the Joneses, right? Trying to keep up with the richness of what they probably wanted for Atlanta to feel like. In which case we've seen examples of that go terribly wrong, but it does make for an interesting show, right? The sort of I don't want to say haves and the have nots, but I just want to say like the wealthiest person on the show compared to the person who may not have that much. It is always an interesting reality TV scenario to watch play out. It's always interesting. One of the best things that you could do is when you see a show, if you ever go back and watch vintage Orange County, if you know, chime in the chat. If you know what I'm talking about, if you guys remember Lynn Curtin, Lynn, wasn't it was her name Lynn Curtin? It was something, it was Lynn, right? Anyway, the cameras caught the eviction person knocking on their door. The daughter answers the door and has to take the eviction notice. This played out on the season. Okay. So when you have those types of stories, I don't remember anybody from the cast necessarily like looking down at Lynn, but they were all obviously talking about it, right? So I just don't want Shamea to come across like that. I mean, because we're happy to see the wealth. We really, really are. Um, but also at the same time, it's fascinating to watch someone who doesn't necessarily have the wealth try to keep up with it because we see it play out in real life too. I just don't want Shamea to be the person that points that out. I don't, not that she did, but I'm just saying I don't want her to be that person. Yes, if you remember that, y'all remember, okay? Um, so I don't know. I love Shamea. I just want her to um I'm sure she'll learn, but I don't want her to don't censor yourself. If this is who you are, just be prepared that how people for how people are going to feel. Like and be able to stand 10 toes down in everything that you say later. That's my guidance. If this is how you feel, then state it. But stand on it and don't take it back. Right? I mean, unless some new evidence comes up, but don't take it back just because the people got on you, right? It's a fine line to walk with reality TV, and I know it's going to confuse some when I talk about it, but I think those who get it get it. Um, thank you, Bruce. Says Shamea can be delusional. Um, I love that song. Uh, she started strong and is on a strong nosedive decline. Yeah, that's what I don't want for her. Um, man, I really don't. I really don't want it for her. All right, so the last thing that I do want to talk to you guys about, and I kind of switched the order of the stories around just a teensy bit. Um, I don't know if you guys happen to catch this on Watch What Happens Live, but our girl Drew did do Watch What Happens Live this past week, or at least she was on this past week's episode, I should say. And she talked a little bit about Ralph in the basement and Phaedra. Now, when asked by Andy what she thought about Phaedra calling her interesting, and we know that Phaedra has had quite a few things to say about Drusilla, as she calls her, right? She calls her Drusilla. Um, you know, Drew says, well, it's interesting because we haven't had much beef. So she was like, but it made more sense when it came to light that she is friends with Ralph. So I was like, ooh, now is Phaedra turning out to be Courtney 2.0? Hmm. Hmm. That could be very, very interesting because apparently Drew said that she found out that I guess Phaedra has a manager. Ralph knows the manager or either is trying to work with the manager. I really don't know. But apparently he's trying to have management because she says that he's trying to be a celebrity now. Andy asked, well, did the book ever come out? And Drew was like, well, I don't know. Did it? I don't think it did. Just like there was no podcast with Shamea. I mean, that scene with Shamea, Ralph, and Portia was so cringy to me. I mean, but listen, it made for TV, but it was cringy. That's one of those things where I feel like Shamea, you're better than that. Like, that's not even something I would expect for you to do. Now, granted, everybody's probably gonna get a little bit messy, but that's like one of those areas where I feel like Shamea did take like a little bit of a nosedive because it's like, girl, why would you do that? It makes absolutely no sense to me. Why would you be a part of that? Whatever. Um, so listen, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. And listen, the Atlanta streets seem to be relatively small. So it I mean, Ralph seems to be in the know with quite a few of the Atlanta elite, right? So, why would he not? Why would he not? He's probably a man about town. You know what I'm saying? Like, likely in the know. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, he probably knows some people, right? So, why wouldn't he know Phaedra? I mean, Phaedra knows Charles, but failed to know Angela, which is odd to me. I just feel like, I don't know. It is what it is. Anyway, but let me know what you guys think. Is Phaedra gonna be Courtney 2.0 for Drew? Hmm, intriguing. Side note, I don't know if you guys happen to see Drew at the BET Awards. Actually, there were quite a few Atlanta ladies there. Like Drew, I think was there. Shamea was there. Both of them looked great. I just felt like um there was something about Drew in this dress that I just absolutely loved. And I wanted to show it to you guys real quick. I think it's just like the way the background is like is a lot of things, but I just felt like she's killing it. She's always killing it with the fashions. Although Phaedra called her, did Phaedra say her fashions were kind of like Shein or something like that? I'm not really sure if she said that, but whatever it is, she looked good. All right, she definitely looked good. So anyway, um, say what now? It says BET Awards. No, no, is that not correct? Did she not wear that? Did she say Timu? Listen.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
Well, number one, I want to just say thank you for the super chat. I really, really appreciate the love. But that song has been like all over social media for whatever reason. Like people will play it in their reels and stuff like that. And so I just felt like sometimes it just, it just for me, it resonated so much that I felt like y'all would get the reference when I used it. So I felt like we needed to incorporate it into the show. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some moments are just meant for sharing, we've got quite a few of them just ready to go at any point in time for when we need them. And sometimes we just have to pull it out like this one.
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
Order.
Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? I ask you.
Orders.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Or that one. Just any number of times when we can go back and just pull out something just like we'll do it. So that's kind of where it came from. So yeah. Anyway, it's part of the program. As someone who said that, it's part of the program now. I saw somebody say it in the chat. So anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about these stories and more. Make sure you like this video, clap that, slap that, slap that, slap that, tap it like you tapping somebody. All right. And now I'm gonna take my big back Cadillac, either on a walk or to the gym or down to the Famous Dave's. I don't know which one. It's anybody's guess where I end up. But knowing big back Cadillac, I'm gonna be eating. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video.